Good evening, I'm Peaches, and I write a letter to President Trump every night. Here's what I wrote last night. Good evening, Mr. President. We have to talk. I've been your biggest, most huge, gigantic fan since I first noticed you when I was working in New York City back in the 70s and 80s. You know that, right, Donald? Do you know now that I'm a very huge flag-waving President Trump supporter? I am. But Donald, I'm dying here today. I mean it, I'm really struggling. I know that you're the president and I'm just a common citizen, but I've been thinking about this long and hard, and I've come up with an idea that I think could save you the election. Listen. You know how you just blurt things out all the time? Like telling the governors that you will override their decisions about the COVID-19 virus, or telling them that mail-in ballots are illegal, or that you're going to shut down all social media, or that we should inject disinfectant into our bodies, or that we should rake our forest floors, or that Obama wasn't born in the US, or that Baltimore is a rat and rodent infested mess, or that our military is a depleted disaster, or that you're going to build a great wall and Mexico is going to pay for it, etc., etc., etc. You know that everyone uses those statements against you. Even the Republicans are beginning to laugh at you, Donald. Well, listen, Mr. President, here's my very, very great idea. From now on, starting today, let's try not opening your mouth until you think for 15 seconds. Yeah, just wait 15 seconds before you blurt things out. Take those seconds to think about the effects of what you're going to say. I know, right. I think I'm a genius sometimes too. I've been thinking about this for over 3 years, and I think it could really help your political standings, relationships with our allies, the bad press you get several times a day, your relationships with your staff, your marriage, and even your relationships with your children and their spouses. Okay, so let's try that starting today and see if you don't jump up in your ratings by the weekend. I'm so excited to see what effect this will have. Now, Mr. President, I really need your help here at home. My youngest son just turned 17, and well, you know how belligerent and obstreperous teenagers can be, right, Mr. President? He lives with his mom half the week. She's just another liberal fake, filling all my boys' heads with her ideas and philosophies. So my 17-year-old comes home last night, and he and his brother start rolling on the floor, laughing when he told them that you said you were going to shut down social media. Then when I told him to get up off the floor and do his chores, he turned and looked me right in the eye and said, "Father, your beloved Trump is acting like a truculent little girl. How on earth can you support him? Some days I can't believe you are my father." Well, Donald, I'm sure you can imagine how deeply that hurt me, since you have all those terrific sons, and I'm sure you love them even more than I love mine. So we sat down, and young Teddy explained to me what he was talking about, about how saying you were going to take down all social media. He said things like, how is the orange clown going to tweet if he takes down Twitter, and a whole bunch of other stuff about you. We talked for a long time, and I just can't seem to win him over to our side. So I'm writing to ask you for your help. I see your sons on the news waving the Trump flag and pulling hard for their dear old dad. They act just like you and seem like they really respect you. Would you be willing to talk to my Teddy, or maybe all of my boys? It would really mean a lot, Mr. President. If we could get them onto your team instead of out there protesting against you all the time, maybe they would get other young Americans to consider voting you in the next election. My boys are real popular with their friends and leaders in their schools. Please help me, Donald. Your very huge fan, Peaches. P.S. Donald, I've been a mail-in voter for decades, and I voted for you by mail. Should I stop doing that? I heard you say it was illegal.